Hello everyone. So welcome to College to Industry and my name is Sumit and today we are going to discuss one very important concept in Selenium, which is how we can handle HTML web tables in the Selenium. So if you see that I am taking the example of this website, which is this worldsofmeter.info.coronavirus. So basically here you will have the total number of coronavirus cases, and if you come down you will get this table. So what we are going to do in this lecture is, if you see this USA, total number of cases are this, and the number you are seeing here is the sum of all the cases from USA to, if you come down, there are so many countries listed here till here, right? So this, I want to calculate what is the total sum of all the cases, and that should be equal to this particular number. So because we are doing that because the cases are updated on the regular basis. So if you keep on doing manual task, it will be very hectic because there are total of 221 countries here. But if we are able to write one automation test case for that with the help of Selenium, then you will see that how easy it is for us to validate whether this is the same number we are getting or not. So let us see. First, let me open this URL. So these two lines will be common. Like I am setting the system property and just creating the object of from driver class and just opening the URL. So now I will write one XPath. So how I will write the XPath? See, I am interested in only this particular row, right? So I'm interested only in these number. So I will write XPath in such a way that I will be able to highlight each and every entry ranging from number number 1 to number 221. So I want to reach till here, right? So let us write one XPath. Let us try to write one XPath, or you can use any other locator. Here I am using XPath. So if you come up, like I want to start from this one. So let me try to click this number, inspect this number. Here it is present. So it is present here. So if you come up a little bit, so if you see this T body, inside this T body, we are having our entire table. So let us try to start writing XPath from here. So I will say Control F so that I can keep on validating whether I am writing the correct XPath or not. So if I say /T body, so now we are, as of now we are here, but there are, I think, multiple T-body elements are present. There are multiple T-body tags are present. So I will say T-body of 1. So that should highlight only unique one. So you can see here we are on this T-body. Inside this, all our table is present. So now if I again try to click this first number, that first number is inside this T-body tag. You can clearly see here. So if I click this, so you can see this is our first row, and similarly if I come down, you can see this is our second and then third. And if you see this difference, one is odd, other is even. So what is the hierarchy they have created? One is odd, one is even, one is odd, one is even. So for, you can see what is the even one? At number 3, the row will be, the class will be even, and for the next one it will be odd, and for the next one it will be even. Like that, if you come down, this is the hierarchy they have created, right? Odd, even, odd, even. So what we have to do, first let me try to write the XPath for the rows which are odd. So what I can do, we are here as of now because I've given 1, and if I try to write tr, this is because this element is present inside the T body only. So if I provide one space after this, one space after that, and if I try to write one more XPath, which is tr @ class equals to it is odd. Let us try to first write the XPath for odd. So now you can see it is started to highlight all the rows which are odd. You can say class equals to odd. If I hit enter, now this is our second, like France, like after that UK, similarly Italy, like after that Spain. So rows which are having odd as the class is highlighted. But I need to reach to this particular number, not the whole row. So I will expand this, and I need to reach to I need to get this text. So I will come here. From here to here I will come. So I will say one more slash td of 3 because I need to reach to the particular td which is having, because first td, if you see here, why I have given td of 3. Right now I am here. If I say td of 3, it will reach here. So this is how we can write. And if I keep on hitting enter, you can say this particular number is highlighted. So all the rows which are having the odd as the class name will be highlighted. So if you see this, total how many rows it is giving here, 8 out of 112. So total 112 rows it has listed. So if I copy this XPath, and here I will write driver dot find elements by dot XPath. So this is our XPath. And after that, I will capture that. What is the return type? Return type will be list of web element, and I will capture that like one name. I will give odd rows, odd cases, or you can say odd rows. Okay, so we have done for the rows which are having class as odd, but there is one more class which is having even. So what I can do, if I replace it with even, you can see that if I replace it with even, now it is highlighting the rows. It is highlighting each and every row which is having class as even, right? So if I hit enter, you can see total how many, 109. So if I say 109 when I am saying even, if I say odd, then it is 112. So 109 plus 112, that is equals to 221, right? So if I write even, so the sum is total of even and odd rows are 221. And if you see here, total number of rows here are also 221. You can see. So 221 are the number of rows, which is some are even row, some are odd row, right? So I will now for the even I will copy this XPath, and again I will write list of web element. It is even rows, and I will say driver dot find elements. It should be find elements because we have to find each and every row with this particular XPath. I'm going to write now. This is our XPath. Now, if you see, now what I will do, I will count the even rows. What is the total count? I will say even rows dot size. So this size will give me the total count, and similarly int count the odd rows equals to odd rows dot size. So after doing this, I want to calculate the total sum. So first I will write one for loop for the odd number of rows. So I will write from I equals to 0 to I less than this count, and then I will increment the value of I, and from this I will get the. So as of now, let us work with first this one for the odd number of row, then we will see for the even rows. So what I will do, I know that each and every row is present inside this odd row element. So I will say odd rows dot get the element based on the index and get me the text in the sense the case number, and I will capture that in one string case cases value. And if I print it, let us see what it should print. Cases, and also let me try to print So I will also print the say I. So I will also going to print how many total odd rows are there. So this will print I plus 1 because it is starting from 0. Or let us just not give 1 as of now. If I just run this program, let us see what it is going to print. So guys, let me tell you, if you are able to understand this HTML table handling, then you can easily do any other website HTML table similarly, right? So this is a little bit complex, but if you keep on rewinding the video just until unless you will not get, I'm very sure that you will get it. So after that, you can see it has started to print. So total number of rows we have seen in the HTML DOM is 111, right? So it has printed all the cases, right? 0 to 111. So these are the total number of rows. So what I want to do, I do not want to print. I want to calculate the sum. I want to calculate the sum, but some numbers are having commas between them. So what I can do, if a number is having comma between them, what I will do after that, because if your number is having the comma, you cannot add that. You cannot add a number which is having the comma. So let me take one sum variable int sum of odd row. So I will say it is 0, and I will use one replace all method cases hyphen value dot replace all. I will say if you find any number which is having comma between them, replace all the comma with empty space, right? So that comma will be replaced, and I will capture that in one new case. So you can give any name. And one more thing, after this comma will be replaced, all these numbers which I am printing here are the string value. These are the string value. Return type is string here. So what I can do, I can convert that into integer so that I can add. You cannot add integer. You cannot add the string value because it will concatenate. It will not give you the total sum. So if I pass, I will use, there is one integer class, and if I pass this variable here, that will going to return me the integer value. So now whatever the output it will give you, this is nothing but integer format, integer case corona cases, like you can see. And now after that, if I try to print after that, so I want to calculate the total sum, so I will make use of this variable sum out equals to sum out plus this one cases of total corona we are passing here. And now after that, if I try to print, it should be sum hyphen o. And if I run this program now, let us see what it will print. So this time it is not going to print all the cases. It will simply calculate the sum and place inside this variable. So total this for loop will run from more than 100 times. So after that, it should put some number here. Let us see what is the number. Okay, so some 2 came. It is saying that for the input string 13197,031. Okay, let us check where we are getting. So I think what is the line number? It is 38. So if you see this, I should have placed this variable here, right? Because this text will have some commas. This text will have some comma. Here I am replacing the comma so that I can convert that into integer value. So it is saying that I am unable to convert into integer because the number is having comma. So I can now do one thing. I will place this here. So this number will have without comma, and after that you will see this time it should be our integer value. So let us check what it has printed. So it has printed some number. So basically still you will see this number is not equals to this one. It should be equal to this particular total number. But the reason why we are getting this number is because it has only calculated the cases which are present in the odd row. Now similar step I will do it for even rows. So what I will do to save some time, I will copy this. Now we are going to perform same operation for the even number of rows. So I will paste it, and here I will just sum of even and count of. So this is the variable which we have defined on the top. This variable we have defined here, right? We have defined here on the 24th line. So after that, again this will be same, as these are the local variable. I can take the duplicate value because this is local to only this for loop, so I am giving the same name. And after that, instead of this one, I will say sum of even and sum of even plus cases of corona. And if I print this value now, this time it should print sum of even rows as well. Even rows in the sense the cases which are present in the even number of rows. Why I am saying even and odd, let me explain you again. The reason I am saying even and odd is, let me explain you after that. So after this, you will see, still you will not get this number. Let us see whether what is the number we are getting. So first is odd number of rows, total sum, and this is even, right? So little bit is difference. So basically, if I now add these two number, that will going to give me the total sum. Just see here. If I say after that, if I say system.out.println total sum of cases in every country listed here, right? Is equals to, I will say sum of even rows plus sum of odd rows. So if I say even and odd total sum, this number should be equal to this particular number, which is this one. So you can see how fast it is calculating the sum of each and every row. So here I just showed you this for this particular row. Similarly, you can do it for all the rows. So try that. Let's first check whether we are getting the correct result or not. If not, then we will see where is the issue. So this is odd number, total odd number of cases present in the odd number of rows, and you can see, okay, so some issue is coming. So basically it has not added. So let me check where is the issue. I think you should provide here as well. I forgot to place one bracket. That's why it has concatenated. If I run like this, now it should add the number. So let me run it again. So this is the number we should get in our output. So first it has printed odd number of odd number of rows sum, and after that it should print even, and after that total sum. So the total sum still we are getting is this one. So I think we have done some mistake. It should be equal to this one, this particular one, because if you see on the down, we should get this number, right? So let us see where we have done the mistake, and so that we can, if we come up, so here we have given odd and even, that is correct. If you come down, sum of odd, sum of even. Okay, so here you can see what is the issue we have done. The number should be even, because after that we are working on even rows. Now if I run it again, it should print the total number of cases. So this time I am very sure that you should get this number, which is this one. If we are getting this number, we can be sure that our website is working correctly. So whoever the person that is developing this website, this is kind of a testing, automation testing, because these numbers keep on changing every day. I need to make sure that this number should be correct. It should not be displayed incorrect to the user, right? Because it is a very sensitive information for all of us. So it should not be displayed correctly, incorrect. So to do that, I am keeping a check that I can add all the number, and after that we should get the correct result. So let us say this time. So first it has printed this one, and then second. Okay, so this time you can see what is the number we got. The number we got is same as this one, right? 133,820,210, which means our website is able to display the addition of all the cases in each and every country correctly. So just assume that if you have done this, if you want to test this website on a regular basis, then you have to add all the numbers manually, right? Which will be very hectic to you. But within the 1 minute after writing this code, every day I can run this code and it will give me the correct result. So later you can also put one if and else condition, like if you want to validate that whether it is correct or not, just try to fetch this text and put, and using get text method, extract the number, remove the comma, and just compare whether this number is equal to this one or not. If it is correct, just say that everything is working fine, and later in the else part you can also say if the number is not matching, you can just print one statement that saying that number are displaying incorrectly, please check with the developer, something like this. So this is how we can handle these kinds of HTML table. So just try to inspect each and everything which we have done here. If you can also try to put breakpoint here if you want to debug, and just right click debug as Java application, right? So that you can see what is happening here in each and every line. So I will share this code in the description of this video, and also subscribe our channel so that you can get the notification when we are going to upload any of the video. So thank you guys for attending this and seeing this. Thank you everyone. Okay, thank you.